York City with Cardone the Magician. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, Cardone, could you tell me a little bit how you got started in the magic business?
Yeah, I actually started when I was really little. I was like 8, and it was reading books from the library and stuff. And then when I was about 10, I went to a magic shop in Philadelphia, and the magic shop's no longer there. And the guy said to me, and I'd saved some money to buy something. I think I had $20, $30. And he said, do you want to perform for your fun, just for fun, or do you want to make money? And as a kid, I was like, I want to make money. This is great. And so he set me on a completely different path. He said, you need to find material that's for the audience, not necessarily for yourself. And he said, your first audiences are going to be kids at birthday parties. It's a great way to start your business. And so he set me on the path. And then by the time I was in high school, I had weekend work, and I did a lot of shows. And then to study it formally, back then they didn't have formal magic schools. Now they have workshops that you go away for 3-4 days. They don't have an actual college for magicians. So I chose theater. That was the given. I studied straight up theater, conservatory style. And that definitely helped me. That was... Most magicians don't formally study theater, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, you think they would all do it, but there's only a few I know that actually did it. So, and that's how it started. And then pretty soon afterwards, college, it's funny, then my career took a weird shift, and that's how the music business stuff started. But I was always doing magic shows in between touring and stuff.
So tell us a little bit about the music business for you, what you were doing with that.
Yeah, the music business was something I'd always wanted to kind of do, but never thought of it as a business. It was like, wait, hey, I like playing the bass guitar, and I like loud rock and roll music. And so living in New York City, you know, there's bands playing, and I remember I wrote down when I first moved here, like I didn't want to be an actor. Even though I went to acting school, I didn't want to play the roles that were being offered to me. So I sat down, I was like, what do you want to do? And I remember I was like, I'd like to be in a band. And then I wrote underneath it, well, how are you going to do that? And it was like, well, you got to go see shows, lots. So I went to see a show with this girl named Eileen, and the show was The Voluptuous Horror of Karen Black, and the opening band was Toilet Boys. Yeah. So I went, opening band was Toilet Boys. They said they needed a bass player. I met some people, and within 3 weeks I was playing bass for them. I played bass for them for 6.5 years, and we toured all over the place. And we got some really cool opening act gigs. And then after that, I swore never, and I was doing magic gigs while I was doing that.
Yeah.
And I swore never to play again after that because it was a lot of work, and the money wasn't great.
What was the coolest gig you had while you were with the Toilet Boys?
There was 2 that stick out. One was Joey Ramone asked us to play at his birthday party, and he asked us to do a whole Ramone set with him. And then the other one was Blondie at the Garden. We got to open. That was crazy.
That's awesome.
And they were a day apart. We did one and then the other, all within 2 days. It was crazy. But then I started playing with Karen Black. Like after I quit, I was like, I'll never play bass again. I'm done. I'm going to focus on magic. And then she asked me to play, and then I did that for 8 years. I quit in the middle, like for a year. But I did it for 8 years, and then I quit last year, finally.
And now you came back to magic. Why do you think that happened?
Magic has never not been part of the equation. That's like the even Steven through the whole my life. Like that's my day job. Like that's what pays the bills. That's what I love. That's what's in my blood. And music, I don't focus on it, but it keeps coming. Like I don't really try to get the stuff happening, and it just pops up. So I always keep my playing chops up so that when cool stuff happens, I can, you know.
So what do you think your fans or yourself would compare you to in reference to the type of magicians that we always see on TV, like Chris Angel?
Interesting question.
Or David Blaine?
Interesting. It's weird because in this interview you see me as like rock and roll tattoo man, but in my shows, and you've seen what I look like in my shows, I don't look like this. I look more like, I would say a magician from like the 50s or 60s or 40s. Like it's kind of a retro thing. And I don't do the retro thing to be kitschy. A lot of guys do it to be cheesy about it. And I actually do it and take it really seriously. I'm a fan of like, I always thought magic, when you see a magic show, you should feel the history of thousands of years inside of it. I don't like new, hip, fangled magicians. I never liked it. There's a place for it. That's fine. I don't like it. Aesthetically, artistically, doesn't groove me. And so the TV guys definitely are doing the new, hip, trying to be in style. And the thing is, they're going to have to keep changing their style as the times change. And I just never, that's not my thing. For me, magic is this really ancient art form that has classic vibes to it. And I always thought the audience wants to see that. When you tell your friend, hey, I got tickets to a magic show tonight, I want them to imagine like going back in time and seeing this ancient thing that still is cool. You know, you don't have to make it cool. It is cool. You know, I always thought cool is, you can't buy cool, for real. And for me, when you're trying to make it hip and new, you're kind of buying the cool. And I don't think you have to do much to it. What it is naturally is cool.
It's so true, because when you think of magic, you think of, you know, like the showgirls and the magician and the girls in the box and dating all the way back to the 20s. And now today you have these people who are just going up to people on the street and getting on videotape for it, and it kind of takes away the part. So
exactly. Like, to see a guy on the street doing magic on television is a weird concept for me, because and the thing that's funny is real street magic is not, hey, want to see a trick? Real street magic is building a huge crowd. Hey, yeah, you're grabbing these giant hordes of people to come. Once you have your crowd, then you do a formal show. You don't do little card tricks for them, and you're doing a giant actual theatrical production because you want all of them to give you money. That's what street magic is. When you see street magic on TV, that's not street magic. Street magic is building a crowd. That's the skill. And then once you have your crowd, making them laugh. Classic street magic is a little bawdy. It's a little dirty. Like, the jokes are kind of X-rated. And, like, that's street magic. So theater is what it is. Like you said, like, the assistants, the boxes. Like, and to do that well, I think is cool. Like, I think that's really great, you know?
Well, going on a subject just with the whole modern day Google thing, how do you feel about that? Because as a magician, you kind of want everything to be a secret, and since people can just go right into Google and search for tricks, how does that make you feel?
That's a good question. Some would see as a problem, but I see it as a reason to focus on what I think is the most important thing in a magic show, and that is to make your audience at the end of the show or during the show have a sense of wonder, and such a strong sense of wonder they don't care how the stuff works, and when they leave they don't want to know. And for me, that is the secret to good magic. You know, if you're the kind of magician that's like, I'm going to fool you and there's nothing you can do about it, then it's a challenge, and then they want to know how it works, and they're really watching your hands. But if you can, like, within seconds create wonder, they give up. And I can tell when it happens. Like, they're like, seeing grown adults turn into children, just like, oh my God, I love this. That's, for me, the joy. And that is the true secret to accomplishing miracles in a magic show, is to trigger that button. And we were talking about the whole classic thing earlier.
Yeah.
That's part of it. See, for me, I start my misdirection technique the minute they see my clothing, my rings, my hair, and the mustache. They're like, oh, it just shuts them down. Like, they don't, you know, it immediately puts this blanket of wonder over the whole thing, and then the magic starts. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, great answer.
And it's like Google, who cares, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Can you do a card trick for us?
Yeah, and it's crazy because when we were setting up, I was shuffling these cards to break them in. These are brand new playing cards, and I don't know if you've seen this, but when we have brand new cards, magicians like to do this. It kind of softens them up a bit. You want to try?
Good way to shuffle.
Yeah. It's not that hard. The thing is, that looks kind of tricky to do, and it is a little tricky, but what's trickier is doing it one card at a time. That's actually a lot harder. And then this is one of my favorites. This is, you've seen people make fans with playing cards, right? It's kind of pretty, it looks kind of nice, right? Watch. Whoa.
Oh.
See? Watch. See? They keep popping out. Oh, whoa. It's crazy, right? See, people think they're hiding up my sleeves, but unfortunately I'm not wearing any sleeves right now, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do it that way, but watch. See? Whoa. Watch.
So basically they're all just fitting in your hand.
Yeah, they're inside my flesh. That's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
That's many years of practicing right there.
Okay, so I always wanted to know, how magicians can guess what kind of card that I have.
Also, if you're
How
thinking,
does that work? Yeah.
Right. Well, I always tell people there's lots of stuff going on in a magic show. The two skills are sleight of hand and psychology, and that's how we do tricks. So I don't mind explaining that. But here, just take one. Doesn't matter. Anyway, take one. Take one out. You got one? You got it?
Got it.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set these down here. I'm going to turn my back, close my eyes. You peek at the card. Did you peek at it?
I did.
Now put it back with the other cards. Stick it in there.
Okay.
Is it done? Can I turn around?
It's done.
No, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. You pulled it out. You put it in.
Okay.
Watch. Think of the card. You got it in your head? You have it? You're thinking of it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Just think of the color first. Ready? Black or red, black or red. You're thinking of a red card?
Yes.
Okay, we're getting there. It's either a heart or a diamond. Right now, think of that. It's a diamond?
Yeah.
All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's either a number or a picture card. Okay, like a king, queen, jack, or some sort of number. So you're thinking of a number.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. When I'm working with numbers, I like you to count to the number in your brain. Okay, but don't do it yet.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes, and you're going to count to your number.
Okay.
Okay, so watch this. And then stop when you get to your number. You ready? Here we go. Start counting. 1, 2, 2. It's 2 a diamond?
How did you know?
Did I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I do.
Oh, man. Well,
It's my
that's
skill.
good.